So things like that are helpful. Even simple grooming of the animals.
People can come and do this. People can groom the animals. You welcome that.
We do, and the animals just love the attention.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I firsthand experience.
Yes,
I mean,
they eat it up.
They eat it up. It's just it's absolutely lovely.
And they're so excited to have visitors. You've noticed when they saw you coming, they ran as fast as they could toward us.
Oh, and they follow you around as you're walking.
Yes.
It's just an amazing feeling being with these animals.
Yes, and Maisie, the hen, is so friendly. She comes running at you at full speed.
Huh.
Most people wouldn't expect that from a hen, but she's just the friendliest. And some of the cats have interesting stories too. One of the cats, Charlie, had been thrown into a garbage dumpster when she was pregnant.
Oh.
And she gave birth in the dumpster, and only one kitten survived. And we saved her and the kitten, and they're still together. It's been 14 years.
14 years. So you still have?
We still have Charlie and her kitten Alice.
The kitten is now?
Yeah, the kitten's no longer a kitten, but they got to stay together.
Oh, gosh. Beautiful. And tell me about the donkeys. I love those donkeys.
Oh, the donkeys are so nice.
I love those
Well,
donkeys.
the two donkeys just recently got together. Both of them had been living on separate farms and were extremely lonely because both donkeys had lost their mates. The donkey who came from the other farm had a horse friend who died 6 months ago, and she became so depressed that she was braying constantly. And the other donkey who was on my farm, whose name is Lehua, lost her friend Leilani, who is the namesake for the sanctuary. She also died a few months ago. So Lehua was desperate for another donkey. So we got the two together, and oh boy, immediately they bonded. And they're inseparable. You'll never see them more than 2 feet away from each other. And they play games, and they chase, and they copy each other. If one of them takes a dust bath, the other takes a dust bath. And their happiness is just, you can see it in their faces. They're just so happy. And they never cry anymore because they have each other.
And you.
Yeah.
And you.
And they love the goats.
Yeah, yeah. You were born in Wisconsin?
Yes.
Yeah. What was growing up like for you? What was that like in Wisconsin?
Well, I was born there, but I moved away when I was pretty young. So I really grew up in Southern California.
So you're an Orange County gal?
Yes, yes. But I've been here on Maui for 9 years, and I think it's just the perfect place to live and the perfect place to have a farm, and it's just so great for the animals because it never gets too cold or too hot. And in Haiku, where I live, it usually, right now we're having a drought, but usually there's enough rain to keep the pastures green, and so it's just ideal for the animals.
You apologized when I came up for the pastures not being green, and I said, yeah, I hold you personally responsible.
Yeah, the green rolling hills are now brown rolling hills.
Yeah.
Let's hope it rains.
Yeah, well, it'll rain again.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Like you said, you got your degree in real estate and finance. Is that what it is?
Yes, real estate. It was a business degree with an emphasis in real estate finance.
And you worked as a senior vice president in a large company in Southern California?
Yes, it was Lee & Associates. It was a commercial real estate firm. And my specialty was high-rise office buildings.
And that's what you would be selling, space and high-rise office buildings.
Yeah, space and high-rise office buildings. But here on Maui, it's residential, and I find it even more challenging than some people are surprised. They would think that transactions with corporations and commercial real estate would be more challenging, but it's not.
It's not, huh? Well, it's an interesting dichotomy. On one hand, you're dealing in this very compassionate field. And on the other hand, I mean, for you it's compassionate because you're donating 20%, but it's real hardcore business.
Absolutely.
You're a hardcore businesswoman too.
You have to work very hard.
That's right.
There's a lot of competition.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And early on in your life, there was another career that you did for a while as well.
Yes. Before I got my business degree, I worked as a radiologic technologist in a hospital.
And that is
taking the X-rays.
Taking the X-rays.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's been an interesting life.
Yeah. Well, it did. It certainly seems like a very interesting life. Is there anything else that you would want to say about anything that we've covered so far? Do you want to, is there any more embellishing? You have the Vegetarian Society meetings, your passion for veganism, you have your animal sanctuary. Anything else you want to add to the mix?
Well, one of the great joys in my life is getting up every morning and doing the farm chores. To me, that's just heaven. Some people might consider scooping up donkey manure to be a really dreaded task, but I think it's just great being out there in the middle of the pastures with the animals. It's so peaceful and quiet, and I like the physical aspect of handling the heavy bales of hay and grain, and it's great exercise.
Yeah.
And I love how the animals are always so excited to see me when I go out there.
Yeah.
So that's very fun, doing the farm chores every day. And we have some other animals with really interesting stories. For example, Johnny, the goat, was born on a goat meat ranch. And he lived there with 60 other goats. His mother, for some reason, rejected him at birth, so the goat rancher was forced to bottle feed little Johnny. That was the only way he could get his nutrition. And in the process, she became really attached to him. And he was such a sweet little goat. I don't know if you've been around baby goats, but
no.
I don't think there's anything much cuter than a baby goat.
You have to invite me over when there's some baby goats.
Oh, they're so cute.
Because I'm a goat. I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, then you...
So I probably have even a special affinity for goats.
Yes, you're a Capricorn.
That's right. That's right.
So as she became more and more attached to Johnny, she started to really dread the thought of him being butchered for meat. And
who dreaded?
The rancher.
Oh,
the rancher. So she elected to let him come and live out his life at the sanctuary.
Oh.
And we have another couple of goats that came from similar circumstances.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And some of the chickens came from an egg factory that closed down.
Here?
Yes, the Maui egg factory. They closed down, but many, many chickens were left behind without any food or water. And I had a concern that that might be the case. Just some feeling inside that they hadn't taken care of all the chickens. So I went over there, and sure enough, there were quite a few. And it's difficult to catch them. So some of them were running loose, some of them were still stuck in cages. But if you go at night when they're sleeping, they're much easier to catch. So I got some of my friends, and we went over there with cat carriers. And in the middle of the night, we wore headlamps so that we could see. These are huge metal sheds full of cages. Cages stacked upon cages, tiers of them. And the cages are really, the individual cages are only the size of a folded newspaper. And they typically cram 5 to 7 chickens in this space this small.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yes.
I've seen that.
It's so tight they can't even spread their wings.
I'm just so pleased that you're doing the work that you're doing. I'm really
thank you.
Really grateful that you're doing it. So thank you so much for your coming on the show today, Laura Lee.
Thank you for the invitation. It's my pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you. And that's it for this episode of Life on Maui. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, aloha.
me crazy, but I'm never